I've had a very good discussion with the Secretary about the pre-deployments. The basis of ours is understood by the United States. There's yet to be a final decision taken if military conflict becomes the ultimate option, and that is one that will be dealt with in accordance with the constitutional processes of Australia. We have, nonetheless, along with the United Kingdom, pre-deployed forces. Australia does not believe that all of the heavy lifting on something like this should be done by the United States and the United Kingdom alone, albeit our contribution is a much smaller one, commensurate with the different size of our country. But you are sending a new and sharper signal when you pre-deploy, and that's what we've done. And we've been very willing to do that in cooperation with our American and British friends. As always, the Australian military is very happy to work in close harmony and cooperation with the United States military. It's been a long association and a very positive one.
Questions, Charlie?
Mr. Secretary, France, Germany, and Belgium today vetoed NATO protection for Turkey, saying that that would simply make it easier for the United States to invade Iraq. Could NATO begin disintegrating over decisions like this?
Oh, I think not. NATO's been around a long time, and I suspect it'll be around a long time ahead. I think that technically what they did was not veto, but I think the phrase is they broke silence on what otherwise would have been a planning process for NATO. And I have not heard precisely what they said as to what their reasons were, but NATO very likely will end up engaged in that subject through a different route. It's my understanding that the next step very likely would be Turkey coming back in as is the right of any member nation, and having the subject engaged again through a different mechanism of NATO. I think it's unfortunate that they are in stark disagreement with the rest of their NATO allies. There's 3 countries. There are 19 countries in NATO, so it's 16-3. I think it's a mistake, and what we have to do for the United States is make sure that that planning does go forward, preferably within NATO, but if not bilaterally or multiple bilaterals, and we are already going about that task. As you'll recall, what that was asked for was that planning begin for AWACS, and for chemical and biological detection units, and for Patriot capability, all of which are defensive. And it seems to me that NATO will end up doing that, and the time that's lost will be made up because we'll start to do it bilaterally. And in the event that the 3 stand out at the end, my guess is that the other 16 nations of NATO would form a coalition to provide that kind of assistance.